What'd you say? What? Yeah, it does. Man, it's hard to just stay with it because I can't pick him out of the group down. And good evening to our folks on KTLA.com and Facebook Live. This Tim Lennon aboard Sky 5 here, climbing over the Sepulveda Pass here, southbound 405 freeway coming up to Mulholland. We have burglary suspects out of the West Valley Division, LAPD. Really been flying the mail here on the freeway here, passing traffic really in excess of probably about 90 miles an hour right now as he's passing traffic, you can see here. But we're coming up into some heavier traffic, working our way around. He's just kind of weaving through as we come around the bends here. And then we see right now, yeah, they're in surveillance mode. And Desk asking me why I don't see police cars behind him. They've got in surveillance mode pretty quick. It was undercover cars that were following him. When they tried to get a black and white on him, he took off, and then LAPD had an airship overhead and then was able to stay with it and keep an eye on it that way. But you can see he's just going all lanes here, working his way through. Hold on one second. Hey, Seven, can you call a flight through Santa Monica? Yeah, can you call the flight? You got 4, 7, and 5 here. Anyway, so as I work with other airships overhead, and continuing on here, southbound 405 coming up to Getty Center, really a high rate of speed. I'm looking down the hill towards Sunset Boulevard. Traffic starts slowing down in that area, so we'll see what happens when we get down in there. But, man, he is really cooking through traffic. This white vehicle here working its way down. Like I said, it's burglary suspects out of West Valley, and LAPD undercover was following him. And like I said, when they tried to stop him, he took off. And he's just really cooking right through every lane he can use to get through here. So traffic is starting to get a little heavier on the downhill side. So, wow, right up against the back of that car right there. So, man, this is not going to end. This is not going to end well if he keeps this kind of driving up. Pretty soon he's going to run out of talent here and end up hitting somebody or losing control of that car. But right now, all by himself. No police cars anywhere around him. He is just flying the mail all by himself, zipping by these cars. And so right now you can see he's just pushing his way through traffic, making those lane changes. And these people have no idea what's going on here. But the LAPD airship is overhead, calling ahead. West LA Division is the next division we're coming down into. And everybody is just going to keep track of this pursuit as it comes down south on the 405 freeway here, crossing under Sunset as we speak. Right there is Sunset Overcross. And like I said, picking up speed. He's got to be in excess of 100 miles an hour at this point, just flying by traffic. We come out just a little bit wider. You'll see the reference to the other cars right there. And you'll see the reference to the other cars, how fast he's going by them. So, all it's going to take is somebody to make a lane change in front of him, and for him to try to avoid, and around he's going to go and probably end up in that center divider. But really working the brakes on this right now as he comes down. So we just have to keep an eye on him getting around traffic here. And as he pushes down, kind of keeping track of him. Coming up to Wilshire Boulevard is going to be the next off-ramp we go by. He's number 3 lane, and he's by he is by the Wilshire ramp. And I'm listening. And we're listening to LA or Santa Monica Tower here coordinate our flight through their airspace. And traffic's going to come to a crawl as we approach the 10 freeway. Santa Monica Boulevard, he just went by right there. And now as we come down, we'll see what he's going to do. He's probably going to have to use either the center divider or the right shoulder to get through this. But traffic pretty much comes to a stop right prior to the Santa Monica Boulevard Santa Monica Freeway. So we'll see what he does. He's holding over here in the number 1 lane. And as we make the approach, he's slowing it down, moving over, weaving through traffic. And you can see on brakes really hard there. So we're just kind of keeping an eye on him. Pretty difficult for us way up here trying to watch him. Colton Von Pertz, my camera operator, staying really Good job staying focused on him. Moving over to the right shoulder here. This is the 10 freeway. He might be getting on the 10 because traffic is coming to a stop on the 405. Let's see what he does here. Kind of keeping an eye on him, trying to pick him up out the window. But it looks like we're on the 10 freeway collector to 5 slow. And let's see what he 10 eastbound. He's now committed 10 eastbound. So yeah, he saw that traffic ahead of him. So he made the turn for 10 eastbound. So right now he's just making the flyover here, working his way through traffic. And as we come around the corner here, you'll see he makes his way down. This will take him down through the area north of Culver City, and right about Overland, traffic comes to a stop. So more likely he's gonna bail off the freeway, because if he made that move with the 10 freeway, it'll probably be his move once he gets up here, coming up to Overland. Actually, Sepulveda will be the first big major he can come to. But man, he has just been weaving through traffic, using everything he can to get through here, keeping his speeds up. Not a police car behind him. I mean, there's no one in sight. Nobody behind him, just the helicopter overhead, not even using its night sun. And so right now he is just running from a ghost. As we get over to the number 4 lane, this is where he's running into that traffic as we go under. And traffic's going to start slowing down here as we approach Overland, and see what he does when he gets to that point. So right now, just content to stay in the number 4 lane and looking for that option to bail off the freeway, getting on the right shoulder here, passing in the exit lanes as he works his way along. So like I said earlier, this is a 459, or excuse me, a burglary suspect out of West Valley LAPD. It was being followed by undercovers, and once they tried to light him up or stop him, he just took off on them. And once the speeds got up so fast that the ground units backed off, they went into what they call surveillance mode. So right now you can see that he's crossing here on the right shoulder, passing everybody as we work our way down through the area of Overland, and then further down will be Cadillac area, Robertson. We'll see what he does when he gets down in there, but he's using that right lane just to pass traffic. And so here you go. Very high rate of speed here as he works his way along, and eventually he's going to wear those brakes out, because he's been on the brakes real hard, almost hit that car right there as he made that cut by. And you're not expecting anybody to be coming down your right side when you're in that number 4 lane. So he's pretty much just really getting in people's way here. Now he's going around through the off-ramp. So now you got some citizen or somebody in a truck chasing him. And that's not a very smart thing to do, even if he makes you as mad as heck as he blows by you and almost hits you. You don't want to chase him in your civilian car. So right now he's just blasting along that right shoulder, passing cars. The traffic is heavy all the way, I can see, up past Crenshaw. So he's going to be dealing with this all the way through Crenshaw here on the eastbound 10 freeway. Just went through Robertson. All right. And Colton is telling me this is an Audi A4 that we're driving here. So he really using that car up here as we continue eastbound on the 10 freeway, getting off. I believe this is going to be Robertson. We'll see what he says here once he gets off. I think that is Robertson. I'm looking out the window here. Yeah, kind of looking that way. La Cienega actually is off on. Here's off on La Cienega, coming down to the bottom of the ramp here. And let's see what he does when he gets down here. Wrong way, around traffic, makes a decision. 5's turning to the left. And then making his way northbound La Cienega. And I'm just going to hold right here as he comes underneath me and working our way around. 5's just pointing north. And you can see as he continues on here, he makes that turn now to the east. And here he goes on going east. I'm trying to look down, see where he went. And area units right over him, so I'm trying to keep track of him on the ground as well as on the frequencies as well. On the brakes real hard here, coming to a stop. Now we're catching a U-turn here, and he's going to go back down towards La Cienega. So let's see. Let me get around here. There he is. And we're going to see what he does when he gets back down here to La Cienega. He turns going up into the ramp here into a parking structure La Cienega north of the 10th freeway. So this is one way people try to get away from the police, is getting into a parking structure like this. We're going to stay wide on the shot to see if he pops out any other side. LAPD now has 2 helicopters on this, keeping an eye. So more than likely what's going to happen, he's going to get up in here, bail out of that car, and take off on foot. Hopefully the camera systems in here will be able to pick him off. But I'm trying to look down to see what center this is. But he went up underneath that ramp there. His LAPD cars are going in right now into the ramp, keeping an eye on it here. So you got to, and so we'll see here. LAPD working their way around. One LAPD car came out the north side, and just kind of watching the parking structure here to see where he might have gone. And Colton, check that one on the north side there. He came out and went right into the, I don't know if he's just blocking the driveway or, okay, good. He came out and he's just blocking. All right, so what we're going to have here is now they're going to have to look for that car in that parking structure. So we're just going to hold right here over the mall area, over the parking structure here. It's on La Cienega, just north of the 10. We're going to try to figure out what kind of complex this is. Say again. Say again. I'm just hearing LA, Matt. What were you saying? Okay, it's the Kaiser Permanente hospital here at Cadillac in La Cienega, where he went into their parking structure. And luckily, having worked cases through here, they do have a pretty good security system at the Kaisers, and so they'll should be able to see this guy on camera, get a description of him. All righty, and be able to get a good description of him. The undercovers already have a description of the suspect, and so now they're going to kind of keep an eye out to see where he might pop out on foot. But with the camera systems in these parking structures, they're going to be able to track him to be able to find him. So hopefully, that's going to work out. But this is one thing that is unusual, that he drove all this way and just picked this ramp to go up into. So we're just going to keep an eye on here and see what the air units are doing. If we can switch over, probably. Okay, we're hearing he might be on the east side of the parking lot. The slide Sky 5's coming around north. And kind of keep an eye on the night sun from that helicopter down there, Colton. And that's probably where he's going to be. There you go. And we'll see. We got a person walking right here. It was described as a male, black, 6 foot, and that's all I heard over the frequency. The air unit's kind of keeping an eye on him here. The guy's looking around. If I was walking along and had a night sun pointed at me, I probably wouldn't just be nonchalantly walking along. But here comes a unit, or actually it's just not a unit. Just saw the headlights coming in, and they're going to keep an eye on this guy. There's the unit. All right. Oh, what happened? Oh, you want me? And we'll see what happens here. Hopefully this is the suspect, and he matches the suspect's description. And so right now, let's have to see what happens. We should be on a LAPD frequency, not just a CHP. So you see this unit here, 10. That's West Valley police car from West Valley LAPD. So he's over here in the Wilshire Division area here. So right now you see a CHP officer pulling out as well, and they're patting this subject down. And we're waiting to hear on the radio if this is the suspect. The undercover guys had a good eye on him, and so they'll be able to tell exactly if this is the right guy or not. And they're also keeping an eye on the parking structure, keeping an eye on it to make sure they don't. Now we've switched over to LAPD frequency now to try to listen in to what they're saying. They are still keeping an eye on the parking structure just in case. They got to make sure that it's the right suspect. So I'm sure somebody has gone to the security system security officers here at Kaiser Permanente to check their video systems to see where this guy might have gone and kind of direct the officers that way. We're listening in now. The area unit's just kind of keeping an eye on the parking structure, and the other officers now are backing away once this guy has been detained. But as you watched, he's walking along and he's got a light on him. He sees there's a lot of police cars here, and he's just walking like a regular day is here happening. So we'll see what comes of that. And right now they're going to hold their perimeter on that parking structure. All right. Okay. All right. Yeah, what frequencies are you hearing that on? Because we're dead up here. All right. They're supposed to go to attack frequency, so hopefully they'll call for that and get everybody on the same frequency. We're getting information from our assignment desk, listening to a different frequency, as well as we listening to Wilshire Division here, trying to keep track of. They're hearing that there might be a suspect in the ER of the hospital. So right now we're going to wait for attack frequency. But this place is crawling right now, so unless he knows the area really well. I'm listening into LAPD right now and waiting for an ID on that person they have stopped. And yeah, so the parking structure is contained. He won't be able to get out of there. Valley Bureau Tech. Yeah. Valley Bureau TAC 41, is that what you're on? Huh? Colton? Okay, I'm not hearing anything. Yeah. There it is. Cadillac is just... Okay, Cadillac's the little street that it's on. So yeah, that's Cadillac right there. Okay, the houses, there you go, the light. Yeah, they were hearing information that he might be in these apartments across the street to the south. All righty. Yeah, they're getting reports everywhere from this. Okay, I'm going to start an orbit just so we don't miss anything. 5's going to pick up a right-hand turn. And we're hearing now that they may have one detained at the on La Cienega underneath the 10 freeway. So they're getting multiple reports of subjects in the area here. So they're dealing with all that as well as trying to lock down the area again now with the extra reports hearing that he crossed over Cadillac into those apartments. So right now it's just a matter of sealing the area and working with the authorities here to try to figure out where he went once he got into the complex. They still haven't done a field show up on the subject. They have stopped on the north side of the hospital here, the one we watched earlier being detained by LAPD. But right now they're still actively searching to make sure that they don't leave any stone unturned here as they search for this suspect. Alrighty, I'm down to 1200. Yeah, there's a unit underneath the parking, underneath the 10 freeway on La Cienega here. So they're going to get a field show up for that person, clear them out. Yeah, that's where we're looking. There's somebody underneath the freeway right here they're looking at. And also for the on the south side of the property here, so many police cars down there, it's hard to figure out which one's which. Is that the one under 10? Apparently. Say again? Yeah, they got like 3 people stopped here. One underneath the 10, that one you're talking about on the south side, and then the one on the north side. But they just reported one of them has a $35,000 warrant, so he's going to go to jail anyway. Not sure which one it is. We're just trying to keep track of all the sightings. I only heard one, right? For sure. Well, we only heard one at the beginning. I don't think they really are verified if there's a passenger. I don't think they're sure they caught the driver yet, to tell you the truth. You can see LAPD here along with a CHP assisting on the search. Wilshire Division unit right there making the turn into the parking structure. So they have a lot of manpower here working this, and it's just a matter of time trying to weed out the different sightings that they have here. So,
alrighty.
as you peek down through the gap in the overcrossing there, you can see the unit that has that one person detained there. Where, like I said, one of the folks they have detained had a $35,000 warrant, so that'll take care of that issue there when they take him into custody for that, and then try to figure out with one of the undercover guys to come over and take a look at these guys, see which one's which. But right now they're just checking the area and grabbing persons that match that description, and hopefully get a picture of him getting out of the car from the hospital security. All right, 7, I got you coming in. All righty. See what they're doing here, huh? That's supposed to be the one they're doing a field show up on. There's a unit parked down the way from them. Go past that unit, and there's a plane car right there. Okay, you gonna turn him on the profile? There you go. Now they're putting light on him. What they're doing now is a field show up with this person on the northeast corner of the hospital. Positive identification on this suspect here, so they got their man. It's what we're listening to the undercover units there in the area here. Just we're looking at him, and they just came up with a positive identification. So, all
right,
I'm going to hold here on the west. I'm sure you heard that desk. Positive identification on the first one they grabbed. This is the first one, the one we followed under the night sun, and the unit pulled up on him. Northeast corner of the parking structure. Yeah, that's what I was saying. They just kind of walking along, you get a night sun on you, and you're just walking along like nothing's going on. So, how many? 3? How? 3 in the car. Yeah, that's one under the freeway. And then the third one's still in the wind. And for the folks still watching on KTLA.com and Facebook Live, you're watching the end of a pursuit, LAPD pursuit out of the West Valley Division that ended up here at Kaiser Permanente on Cadillac and La Cienega. LAPD was able to grab 2 of the 3 suspects in the car, and right now they just made a positive ID on the one that came out the north side of the parking structure. But the vehicle came off the 405 or off the 10 freeway. Got off at La Cienega, made a couple turns, and it finally went to parking structure here on the west side of the hospital. Getting a little steep on it, sorry. We had 7 back there.